Hey guys, this is Anime Ball Z here, and today we are going to be doing the opening part of What If Goku Had the Monkey God's Powers. Please like the video if you haven't already and subscribe. It's totally free and you can unsubscribe whenever you want. There's nothing much else I'd like to say in the intro, so without further ado, let's get into the video.
Slick talker since a jet. Winter time, all the time, ooh, yeah. Look at the way that I move, swag, disrespectful and I'm rude, okay. I had cocaine in the school.
Before I begin, I just wanted to give a quick overview on who the Monkey God is. Here I'm not referring to Sun Wukong, but instead Hanuman-ji. Hanuman is a deity within Hinduism and possesses a wide range of very interesting, powerful abilities. The abilities basically pertain to the limitless potential that he possesses because of transcending ordinary physical limitations. Firstly, I went through several resources and noted that the abilities he was stated to have differed greatly. Upon conducting further research, I found out that this was because in Hinduism, certain divine individuals granted Hanuman with so-called boons, granting him certain overpowered abilities that literally just made him a god of gods. Instead, I'll focus on the abilities that Hanuman seems to possess himself, along with the single boon granted to him by Lord Brahma. This is the ability of invulnerability and immortality. Here is a list of the abilities that Goku possesses. Firstly, as I stated before, he is invulnerable to ordinary physical harm and also doesn't age, so he is immortal. Hanuman has immense physical strength, notably seen through his ability to cross entire oceans in a single jump. Penultimately, he has mastery over a wide range of so-called celestial weapons like the mighty mace and divine bow. These allow him to battle and defeat demons who likely possess a similar durability against ordinary physical damage. Or maybe they might just be able to physically harm him. Back on planet Vegeta in Bardock's compact cozy home, Goku is placed in the Saiyan nursing capsule. When they do this, they see that Goku almost gives off a special gleam. They wonder what that's about, then they go up to him and try and read his power level using a scouter. Upon doing so, Bardock's scouter reading continues to rise. It ends up breaking on his face as he sees this. Bardock looks to Gine and they can't believe how strong their young Goku is. Time passes and they just try and piece everything together. Scouters never break unless they try to scan something that is just too powerful. Frieza's power has been said to near the scouter's limit on planet Vegeta, but Goku has somehow beat even that. Not a single scouter has actually broken due to trying to read a power that was too high. One day they hear commotion outside their home of a few Saiyans catching a weird signature from inside before their scouters simultaneously break. This is a low-class Saiyan's home. Our scouters had to be bugging or something. It must have been a software bug, a Saiyan announces. How could that be possible? We're all sending the same signature from the same place even though we're not standing in the same place. There has to be something in there, another Saiyan claims. Bardock hides Gine, who looks startled and they look quite scared. However, they leave and they return to being calm. Across the planet in King Vegeta's throne room, the Saiyans approach the dais beneath his feet. "Sir, we believe there is an odd power signature on the planet. I think we should check it out," one of the Saiyans claims. "So you've been getting this odd power too?" "Yes, check it with new scouters. If the signature is a youngling, make sure that they are sent off this world," King Vegeta orders. He can't have anybody potentially overpowering his own son. He needs to make sure that his son remains the strongest and keeps the throne. Therefore, he wants to deprive those children of their ability to grow stronger by isolating them. These same Saiyans raid Bardock's home, but the foreseeing Saiyan already knows what is happening. Across the planet, Bardock has Goku in his own Saiyan pod and is readying himself to send him off-world. Bardock and Gine see their son for the last time before he is shot into the sky and off towards Earth. The planet of Vegeta is then destroyed by Frieza soon after. Goku arrives on Earth, and instead of being the usual Saiyan child, he is much calmer and more polite. Not only has Goku gained the physical abilities of Hanuman, but his pure-heartedness. However, he doesn't know his own strength. He ends up kicking open the walls to Grandpa Gohan's home and destroying things with his near uncontrollable power. Grandpa Gohan can't spar him because this alien boy is just way too powerful. All he can do is give him techniques that he can learn in his own time and on his own. When Goku is a young boy, he falls into the crevice that he did in canon and hits his head. However, it does nothing. Using his monstrous power, he jumps right out the hole with ease and looks totally fine. More time passes and Goku eventually looks at the full moon. This is going to mean very bad things for the likes of Grandpa Gohan. This time he is killed in a bloodier fashion and Goku almost wipes the surrounding area clean. Upon seeing this mayhem, Kami watches intently as he can see the entire planet from his lookout. He can tell that this Goku boy is just way too strong and his lack of control over his own power might mean terrible things could happen in the future. Hanuman isn't omnipotent but is extremely powerful. In this case, I think I should give Goku a nice round power level of 1 million at this point. He has received some light training based mainly on learning techniques and martial arts, but he hasn't trained his power really. This is then when Bulma arrives. Upon her arrival, Goku still agrees to go on the quest with her to locate the Dragon Balls. Along with this, he meets the Turtle Hermit Roshi in the process. Goku meets Yamcha and their light spot ends up nearly killing him when only using a fraction of the Saiyan boy's power. He knows how strong he is and hasn't had to struggle against any foe. He hasn't even felt pain in his entire life. He nearly killed Grandpa Gohan on numerous occasions from his power and did in the end, but he doesn't know that. Also, no matter his strength, Goku is totally and completely impervious to physical damage. Punches from mortals like Yamcha won't do anything to him. This means that Pilaf can't even manage to subdue the Saiyan either. Goku dismantles him before he has the chance to resort to his sleeping gas and Bulma gets the Dragon Balls that she wanted. After all this hard work, she believes that Goku is the main reason that she even has the Dragon Balls right now. She almost believes unworthy of getting the wish and lets Goku have a shot at it, however he doesn't take her up on the offer. He is grateful for the life that he has now and states that he merely accompanied Bulma on this journey. He wasn't looking to get the wish for himself. Therefore, she wishes for the vain things that she wanted all this time and Goku begins training under Master Roshi. On their first day, he tries to time their 100-meter sprints. Krillin's clocks in at the usual 10.4 seconds. Goku gets ready to go with his broken souls and then shoots himself forward. As he stops himself before flying off the island, Roshi and Krillin are launched away. He then releases waves in the water ahead from his insane speed. Roshi wasn't even quick enough to clock his speed, but he looks down and sees 0.1 seconds on the stopwatch of his. Wow, he whispers under his breath upon seeing how fast this warrior is. The two fighters begin their training, but Roshi soon sees that his training won't really work with Goku. He can handle practically any load placed on his body and continue on easily. The only way Roshi can help him is through the teachings of sharpening his mind. Goku's ki control improves and his Kamehameha increases in strength as well. This means that his power level remains at 1 million for now, then he enters the 22nd Tenkaichi Budokai. Since Roshi is very confident that Goku will win, he doesn't enter the tournament to try and beat his students to make sure that they keep training. He wants to do that still of course, but he can never beat Goku. He's never even made the Saiyan move from any of his attacks, even a straight Kamehameha to the body. Goku sweeps through the entire tournament and ends up winning with complete ease. Now what is to come next is the Red Ribbon Army saga. He totally wipes out the Red Ribbon Army and the event looks a lot more vicious than it was in canon. His punches are impactful enough to send buildings that he is within crumbling down. However, Goku is not meticulously looking to get rid of absolutely everyone. When he sees nobody continuing to face him, he thinks it's pretty much over. This means that Dr. Gero just about manages to survive. With his organization gone, he possesses the same resolution as in canon and wants to find a way to get rid of Goku. However, the scientist has very little to work with now since he hasn't seen him get hurt before. It's like the boy's a god. Nothing can hurt him and anything he wants to get rid of gets destroyed. Following this, Goku meets Tien of the Crane School, but he easily defeats him in a single strike. His power is just too much and Goku has never actually felt pain in his life. He doesn't really understand when people talk about it and assumes that it won't be that bad of an experience. Blades aimed at his body just don't pierce it and his body doesn't even receive the smallest graze or injury. It's like it wasn't even touched at all. What follows now is King Piccolo returning and his motive is still to get the Dragon Balls to achieve his youth once again. However, Kami isn't as concerned as he was in the main timeline. He believes that Goku is all that the planet needs. Kami is supposed to be stronger than Goku by this point, but this obviously isn't the case right now. He won't be doing as good of a job as Goku, so stays put and just watches on like he did in canon. After the 22nd Tenkaichi Budokai, Goku leaves his things at the tournament and Krillin offers to go and get his things for him. Now Goku decides that he'll go himself, just because he is so much faster. I think Goku will just want to get his items as quickly as possible and for him to do so he should go himself. He arrives at the tournament after leaping across the waters toward the arena and cracks the arena ground upon arriving again. He then has to pull out his legs from the dents they've made in the ground and then push off the rocky debris across his trousers. That's when he hears somebody where his items were. He investigates the area with concern because he doesn't really know who could still be at the tournament at this time. Seconds later he meets eyes with Tambourine, who takes the faces of the several fighters that were at the tournament. "Oh, the tournament winner. Would you look at that?" Tambourine says with surprise before pocketing the papers. He reveals his demonic wings and flies straight toward Goku. He still looks as calm as ever and can see that the Namekian demon almost moves like a slug to him. All he has to do is slide under his legs to evade his incoming slash. The aggressor becomes still for a time because he is taken aback by Goku's impressive speed. He managed to completely evade his incoming attack in a flash and moves so fast that he could barely track him. However, he abruptly turns and shoots a one-hand energy wave from his extended right arm. He attempts to take the young boy by surprise, but he doesn't even move. The energy wave hits him head on and lights up the surrounding area in the process. Parts of the building crumble and Tambourine makes sure to take flight before the debris falls on him. Now flapping his wings in the sky, he doesn't notice any movement in the fallen building and assumes that the job is done. Before he can leave though, Goku reveals himself from the debris and looks unharmed. The only affected part of his body is his gi. "Who are you? Why are you trying to kill everybody that participated in the tournament?" he asks. Tambourine just remains hovering there, dumbfounded. It's hard for him to grasp how Goku just survived one of his strongest attacks without sustaining a single injury. He looks just as healthy as he was before taking that attack, and then Goku takes the initiative to act. He jumps up to Tambourine and then launches a blast of ki right in his face. It explodes upon impact and causes his body to basically vaporize. It can't take that much power head on, and with a power level below even 180, nothing is visibly left of him. Following this, King Piccolo makes Symbol and Goku ends up meeting Yajirobe. The swordsman keeps insisting on sparring the Saiyan, but Goku is reluctant. He can see he is of good character and just doesn't believe that he could hurt him. I mean, nobody has in his entire life. The rotund warrior remains resilient though and tries to fight. In the end, he can't even leave a graze on Goku and is humiliatingly defeated with a light tap to his belly that launches him through several trees. This is where the two meet Symbol and Yajirobe takes the liberty to savagely fell the demonic warrior. Following this event though, Goku meets King Piccolo himself. The old warrior is furious that this mere child managed to defeat Tambourine. Therefore, he wants to make sure that he wipes him from the face of the earth. King Piccolo shouts and hits Goku right on, but nothing happens. Goku can feel the hit, but there is no pain, it's just a feeling of touch. He grabs King Piccolo's leg and just with a light grab fractures the bone in his leg. The old warrior is dropped to his knees and he holds his leg in agony. The Namekian can't even get back up to his feet and stand properly. He doesn't possess any form of healing abilities, but just shoots his special demon wave while lying on his back. As he is shooting the energy wave though, Goku continues walking forward like there is no resistance whatsoever. It just feels slightly warmer than usual and Goku quite lacks the cozy warm feeling around his body. The only thing is he looks down to his clothes and he can tell that they don't exactly share the same sentiment. They look charred and burned from the heat, so he steps out the way of the beam to stop his clothes from totally burning off. Goku lifts his hand to kill King Piccolo, but then he sees him almost choking on something. That is when he shoots the young Piccolo Jr. as far as he can before clenching one fist. He lifts two fingers and then shouts using the exploding wave. The technique was actually used by Nappa in the upcoming Saiyan saga, and the area he wants to explode is around where Goku is, then it lights up completely. The blast is so powerful that even King Piccolo is sent sliding back himself. As the light dies down though, nothing has happened. Goku looks as quality as ever, just with a burned gi. Just as he received the attack, Goku goes on to shoot a ki blast at the old frail demon. He is killed with that blast and dies, leaving his mission to his reincarnated offspring, Piccolo Jr. Another short end to the arc is found and the Dragon Balls are no longer being sought out. Peace returns to Earth and Kami lets out a sigh of relief after first seeing that the planet is safe but also seeing that he has survived. He remains of pure heart and knows what is better for the world, but he still possesses the will to carry on living. However, he decides that he wants to let Goku transform himself further. Even if he isn't strong himself, he believes that he will be a great asset for Goku in the future. He might be weaker, but he knows certain things that the young boy doesn't. This means that Goku goes under his wing just like in canon. The young boy grows up on the lookout with Kami and is strong enough to spend a full year in the hyperbolic time chamber. He decides to go through some strenuous solitary training in the chamber after Kami tries to convince the confident Saiyan that he may not be stronger than everyone. Just because he hasn't met somebody with the power to hurt him doesn't mean that such person doesn't exist. This brings Goku's power level up to 2 million after this training session and the 23rd Tenkaichi Budokai begins. He meets Chi-Chi and still agrees to marry her, then ends up winning the tournament once again. What comes now is the 5-year time skip between Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. Goku takes training very lightly during this time and has Gohan just like usual. Gohan doesn't possess all of Goku's powerful Hanuman abilities. The only ones he inherits are the toned down version of Goku's power and immortality. That means he's still vulnerable to attacks and doesn't possess the special ability to wield celestial weapons. As you've most likely observed, Goku doesn't even know that he has the ability to wield celestial weapons. Gohan is born with the DBZ Broly power level of 10,000. Now this isn't totally insane, but it's still something for sure. Better than literally every other Saiyan in history besides Goku. He ends up destroying things in Chi-Chi's home and reminds Goku of himself when he was younger and couldn't control his own powers. At this point in time, Raditz arrives on Earth. He opens his ship in the massive hole in the ground to see a power signature of 10,000 on his scouter. Goku has kept his own suppressed and he is very happy to have this ability now. It stops him just destroying things by accident since he basically got the power before he had the skill to properly contain and control it. He was born with the power and of course didn't have fighting experience coming out the womb. Raditz is frozen in place upon seeing this. He glances right over the farmer and flies right past Piccolo too. This leaves Piccolo frozen just like he was before because his power level is massive. He has already gotten used to Gohan and Goku's, but he just can't understand who this other powerful warrior is. Raditz assumes there is just something wrong with his scouter, but as he gets closer he can see that his scouter does not deceive him. Goku leaves from the Kame house, but he is surprised to see that the power level reading is not coming from Goku. Instead it's coming from the small child behind him, who he assumes to be his son. Judging from the fright and timidity of the young boy, Raditz takes this chance to be a little more aggressive with his introduction. He can see that Goku has very little power himself and believes some weird genetic mutation might have resulted in his son becoming so strong. He still feels like he's treading on thin ice here. If that kid there gets mad and tries to attack him, it's pretty much toast for him. Goku is interrogated by the man and it makes a lot of sense to them why Goku is an alien. However, his power doesn't totally hail from the fact that he's a Saiyan. Of course, he has the abilities of Hanuman on top of that. You're starting to annoy me, Kakarot. If you don't comply with my request, I'll kill every single person that stands behind you. Raditz then aims both arms out to the sides of Goku. This makes the Saiyan furious and he steps forward boldly. In this step, he loosens the restrictions that he sets on his power and feels it steadily grow. Raditz's scouter breaks upon seeing his brother power up. The readings were increasing so fast that he didn't even get to read them, but he saw 7 digits beside each other rising. He stumbles away like a coward and can't even believe what's happening. How could his brother be so powerful? I don't want to have to kill you. Leave the planet and never come back, Goku shouts. Raditz nods fearfully before flying away as fast as he can. He zooms across the mountains with all his pace and in mere minutes Raditz is off-world. With this, the Raditz arc is drawn to an abrupt close and we have the following Saiyans left. Raditz returns to his comrades on a random planet in Frieza's empire. Nappa and Vegeta are around a campfire as they chow down on alien meat from the victims of their assault. What is it, Raditz? Did he complete his job and where is Kakarot? Vegeta asks, not even raising his eyes to meet Raditz's own. I am sorry, but he was too strong for me. He's far too powerful for even any of us to get him to comply. The reading I got on my scouter was above 1 million. From this statement, Vegeta immediately stands. Don't ever make such a baseless claim. A power level of 1 million is impossible for a Saiyan of your status, Vegeta claims. Vegeta believes himself to be the strongest Saiyan ever and believes himself to be the legendary Super Saiyan. There is no way a Saiyan could be that much stronger than pretty much every single person that he has seen in his life, including Frieza. Such a power would easily eclipse Frieza's and that gives him a sliver of hope. However, he can't stand to even think that a low-class warrior is above him and so he lets the matter rest. He's going to see how strong this warrior is for himself. Alright then, let's see what you're talking about, Vegeta claims. In around the same time as before, Nappa, Vegeta and Raditz arrive on the planet in a group. Goku did say that Raditz should never return to Earth, but with these two Saiyans to act as protection, he does feel a little safer. They arrive in East City and Nappa destroys the entire area, which alerts the surrounding warriors. Before they can leave though, they see a special person arrive in the wasteland, Piccolo. Who are you three? He asks, annoyed by their presence. He fears what he senses, but doesn't like his idea of accepting inferiority. Even if his sensing capabilities say otherwise, he affirms that he is superior to these warriors that stand in front of him. An Namekian, what a surprise to see you here, Nappa states. Piccolo's power level is now 4,000, slightly stronger than his canon counterpart's power level. This is because he was totally humiliated at the 2013 Tenkaichi Budokai. He felt more motivated to train his power to make himself stronger. Piccolo just shouts and launches a ki blast right at Nappa. Raditz is forced to back away due to the power level that he reads. He is far below the level of Piccolo and Nappa is forced to lift his arms to block. Vegeta, however, just lets the ki blast hit him. Once the light dies down, he shoots a ki blast back at Piccolo in reaction. The Namekian is hit by the powerful blast and viciously killed in it as a result. Nappa looked a little embarrassed from the bruises he receives on his forearms from a Namekian's attack, but looks back to Raditz who is cowered behind them to try and remend his fragile ego. These Z-Fighters haven't been training, so they aren't anywhere near as strong as they were in canon. Krillin's power level is 1000, Tien's is 1200 while Yamcha's is 800. Chaozu's lags behind quite significantly with a power level of 500. Gohan's, after simply growing and going through some light training with his father, has a power level of 18,000. This already places him at a great level, and his father can see that he has great potential for further growth and development. The crew notice this event that has taken place and head right there to see what has happened. Upon arriving, the humans are frozen upon feeling the signatures of the three Saiyans. How are they so strong? It makes no sense, Krillin whispers to Goku upon seeing this. Even the weakest fighter possesses monstrous power. Who are these people? Tien wonders. They all realise that the warriors have tails just like Goku. The news of him being an alien has spread between the Z fighters, and so they can tell that these fighters are of the same species as Goku. However, they know just how strong Goku is, and he's never even felt pain before. They feel secure behind him, but even collateral damage could end their lives with such strong individuals battling. Goku has his power suppressed, and Vegeta laughs upon checking his power. This time Gohan's is lower and settled at around 10. The humans keep their power levels to 5 and Goku does the same. Gohan's ki control is a bit worse, so even though he is much weaker than Goku, he can't suppress himself anywhere near as much. You said that these warriors would be a threat. They have similar power levels to the others on this planet. These fighters couldn't even handle a single Cyberman, Vegeta claims. Nappa, grow them and waste this group. I'm very annoyed that you have taken us all the way here after nearly a year of space travel just to see this. Your scouter was clearly bugged, Vegeta says, as Cyberman seeds are placed in the ground by Nappa. I promise his power was higher. These fighters have the ability of keeping their power levels low then rising them in battle. Vegeta laughs once he hears this claim. After growing up around fighters, not even the most skilled of them had this skill. He believes this to be a fluke and just watches on to see the Cybermen pummel them. They soon sprout out like plants, revealing the devilish warriors. Their demeanours exude evil and bloodlust, then the crew of 5 Cybermen jump at the group. Goku is stood at the front and so he can take on the fight himself. His power rises and reaches above 10,000, making Nappa frozen in place. With a single swipe of his palm, he bisects a Cyberman then gets rid of the rest. He does all this in a flash, and the mangled bodies of these Cybermen are left strewn around his body. His gi is now covered in the streaks of blood from these fighters, and he looks on to the Saiyan still heavily suppressed. Raditz is frozen upon seeing this power. He can see it stabilising and he knows his comrades can too. Vegeta steps forward because he can see that Nappa won't be able to do much against Kakarot, only he can end him with his power. He should be a good match for you, Gohan, try and face him, Goku says back to his son, stepping back. He thinks it will be good for Gohan to face somebody his own level, and this could help him grow as a fighter. When Gohan observes that everybody around him is much weaker than himself, it motivates him to fight. He wants to be strong and face formidable warriors like a Saiyan would, but his human purity makes him want to be a protector also. Gohan powers up and begins shaking the ground upon raising his power level. The other Saiyans are in shock at his power and Vegeta feels the same. However, the villainous Saiyans all stop moving upon seeing their battle power reading soar past 10,000, settling at a whopping 18,000. Gohan shoots himself toward Vegeta, and with such speed, the fighter is forced to enter proper battle mode. If he tries to hold back, he will be hit. The collision makes the surrounding area tremble, and the strike also launches Vegeta across the wasteland that they're stood in. A cloud of dust and rubble raises as his soul slides back, but he comes to a stop shortly after. Gohan throws another punch after leaping forward, then steps to the side rather swiftly to land a kick to Vegeta's side. The attack puts heavy strain on his armor and cracks it. The humans are awestruck at this young boy's performance. He should be 5 years old, but is fighting like he's been doing this for much longer than even that. Vegeta does manage to elbow Gohan in the nose before he can move, and the two warriors continue their bout. As seen from their power levels, they fight like true equals. They can both land around the same number of attacks on each other and start dwindling their energy. However, Vegeta has trained more than Gohan. He remains fighting for longer and doesn't wear down as easily. Raditz and Nappa cannot believe what they're seeing. Vegeta was lauded as a prodigy, as one of the strongest Saiyans, even for one of elite status. How could this low-class boy manage to match his strength? Gohan blocks a punch from Vegeta, but a second comes firing toward him soon after. This one he cannot properly block and it forces his vision off target. Vegeta drives his knee into his stomach, lifting Gohan off his feet completely. As he settles while mid-air, he grabs him by the neck to slam him into the ground. The humans look startled from this event, but Goku remains surprisingly solemn. He knows these are how fights end up, but he also believes in his son. After all that training, he believes that he can make it through. Gohan grabs his muscular arm and uses all the power that he can summon to try and push it away. He can feel his arm giving in since it's 2 arms against 1. He's given a small time window to get in as much breath as he can, but Vegeta swiftly begins using both arms to keep Gohan pinned to the ground. The struggle continues, but soon Gohan struggles to provide resistance. With little air coming in, he grows tired even more quickly and can't provide energy to his muscles. His vision starts to fade and he can see a looming darkness creeping into the center of his vision from all sides. The light of Vegeta's face and the surrounding objects begin to fade in together, but Goku comes rushing in and kicks Vegeta across the face. Goku's kick is so powerful that he sends his head flying right down to the floor. The humans rush to Gohan's aid and Tien swiftly pulls him back from the battle. Vegeta is lost for words once he really realizes what has happened. He was fighting toe to toe with a chubby low-class Saiyan boy and now has blood rushing down the side of his face from an attack from his low-class father. His eyes are widened with shock and his brain is struggling to really process what's going on. It simply goes against basic logic. I told you not to come back, but you came with all these people. Why would you? Goku asks, shouting back to Raditz. Vegeta, wiping the blood from his face, is tired of what's happened, then grows a white energy blast. Hurling it right into the sky, it grows once he clenches his hand into a fist while he cackles. The Saiyans suddenly look far more confident and their shoulders fall to an ordinary position. Their bodies look relaxed, then the Saiyans all simultaneously stare at this blast. Gohan does the same and all their transformations begin. The humans fall back in terror as these Saiyans grow into massive towering apes, Uzaru. Goku just looks around watching this all happen and is astonished. There isn't any time to waste though, as these fighters start raining ultra powerful ki blasts down on the group. Goku uses his body to take the impact of the blasts and simply doesn't get hurt at all. His abilities from Hanuman means that his body remains durable and able to withstand these attacks without incurring any form of damage. However, stray blasts fire across the arena mainly from the brazen Gohan. He just shoots at any life form that he can see, not just the enemies. This includes the humans. Suddenly, Goku can see multiple ki blasts heading to the 4 human fighters. He tries his best to run toward them and lets one slam into his body and explode. As for the others, they crash into Yamcha, Krillin and Chaozu, viciously killing them. Their bodies are left a total mess after these violent detonations and Goku must find a way to stop this madness. Tien is the only one that remains, but is far too weak to even think of protecting himself. It all falls right into Goku's hands now. He lifts all his suppressions, then flies right toward Nappa. He punches him once, shattering his armor while also launching him away. As for Raditz, he lands a double fly kick to his body which leaves him in a similar crippled state. With 2 Uzaru taken out in a flash, all he has left is Vegeta. The Uzaru looks far more confident, now 10 times stronger than he once was, and he aims right for Goku. He shoots a mouth blast, but Goku lets it hit his body. It does nothing to him and he just lands a straight punch onto his face. The force behind the strike hurls Vegeta off his feet while leaving a fracture in his skull as he is knocked out. The final person to worry about is Gohan. He thinks of ways to take down his son without making him too hurt and he struggles to think of options. Goku didn't think much about pulling his punches with the other warriors, but he just isn't sure that he can be certain that Gohan will live after his attacks. Looking up to the fake moon in the sky, Goku decides to aim for that instead. Driving up in flight as fast as he can, his body crashes through the white ball of ki and the fake moon is shattered. Goku is surrounded by a spectacle of glowing white light particles that soon disperse to leave nothing behind. The Saiyans begin returning to their ordinary human forms and Goku retrieves Gohan. Goku sees his best friend Krillin dead on the ground. This event makes Goku furious and he has to drop Gohan when he feels anger bubbling up in his head. He thinks back to the event and how he tried his very hardest to reach him. He was an arm's length away, half a step, but he just couldn't make it in time. Why did these Saiyans have to be so cruel? Why did they have to mercilessly murder? The ground quakes as Goku slams his arms into the ground with a shout. His roar is one of pure hysteria and grief. His hair raises and his aura switches from silver to gold, his eyes become blue and his hair becomes a blonde colour. The transformation is powerful and Vegeta is the only one that's barely conscious to witness this. He only has mere seconds before he loses it and he mutters one phrase before passing out. The Saiyan of Legend. Goku's power increases 54 and reaches 100 million. His power is extremely high now and he stands powerfully upon feeling this power. He looks down to his body as well and is surprised. He walks over to Vegeta and the Saiyan slowly wakes back up upon feeling his intense presence. You are to take your friends, whether they're alive or dead, and leave this planet. If you cannot do so, I will slaughter you right here and right now, Goku orders. His ultimatum is harsh and this is due to his greater anger in the form of Super Saiyan. Just like it was in the canon where he unlocked the form for the first time, it makes him angrier and more brutal. Vegeta doesn't nod or reply to state that he agrees to his terms, however he slowly returns to his feet and jogs toward his friends with his injured body. Instead of lifting their bodies and escaping, he lifts both arms and kills both warriors on the spot while they're still unconscious. Goku's eyes are widened with total shock and Tien looks a similar way. The Saiyan has just murdered his own comrades without a second thought, then he flies off. His hair falls and he then returns to his base form. He shakes his head upon feeling this power fade, and then they have to calculate their next steps. With Krillin and Yamcha dead, they must summon the Dragon Balls to revive them. They manage to acquire a Dragon Radar from Bulma, but it reads no Dragon Ball whatsoever. They're confused and then they get scared. Heading over to the lookout, they see Mr. Popo in tears over Kami's dead body. The Dragon Balls are no more. So that will conclude the opening part of What If Goku Had the Monkey God's Powers. Please tell me something you liked about this video or something that I should improve on for the next one. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.